Are prisons that good in a zombie apocalypse? We all remember the prison of the Walking Dead. But is it really a good place to survive the zombies? Picture this. You've heard rumors that a nearby prison might just be the key to surviving the zombie apocalypse. Now here's where things get interesting. As you approach the prison grounds, what do you encounter? Other survivors, perhaps? A community of folks who've already staked their claim to this concrete fortress? It's like playing a high-stakes game of who wants to survive the zombie apocalypse. Will they welcome you with open arms or greet you with suspicion, ready to defend their turf? But hold on to your baseball bats because there's more. What if the undead have already conquered the prison? Picture this: zombies meandering around the once secure walls, undead guards patrolling non-existent perimeters, and your heart pounding in your chest as you contemplate a daring rescue mission in a zombie-infested stronghold. Or maybe, just maybe, you encounter a mix of both. Survivors battling the undead for control, a chaotic skirmish where alliances are forged in the heat of the moment. It's like a twisted reality show where the prize isn't $1 million, but the chance to survive another day in this topsy-turvy world. But let's imagine that for some unknown reason, the prison is empty for you and your group. You see, prisons are like fortresses, the Alcatrazes of our modern age, built to keep the bad guys in. But in a twist of fate, could these imposing structures actually become the ultimate safe haven when the world's population starts craving brains? We're talking about walls that could make even the most ambitious zombies think twice about trying to crash the party. Think barbed wire, towering fences, and steel bars that even the Hulk would struggle to bend. These places are like the VIP sections of survival shelters. Controlled access is the name of the game. Ever heard of Fort Knox meets zombie apocalypse? Well, that's the vibe. Limited entry points and the potential to turn those entrances into impenetrable fortresses against the undead. Picture moats filled with zombies on one side and survivors on the other, with drawbridges for added drama. And oh, let's not forget the perks of raiding a well-stocked prison pantry. We're talking about a treasure trove of canned food, water, medical supplies, and maybe, just maybe, a few hidden caches of weaponry. It's like hitting the jackpot in a survivalist's paradise. But wait, there's more! Inside these concrete jungles, you've got infrastructure to envy, generators humming away, kitchens that could whip up a feast for the apocalypse, and medical facilities that might just make do in a pinch. It's almost like getting a head start in a game of apocalyptic Sims. So, are prisons the impenetrable fortresses we've been dreaming of in a world overrun by zombies? Well, hold your breath, because we're about to weigh some disadvantages. Let's face it, even with all that fortress-like security, prisons might have a few chinks in their armor when it comes to dealing with the undead hordes. First up, imagine trying to fit a stadium's worth of people into your cozy living room. That's the overcrowding party prisons might throw during a zombie outbreak. Tight spaces, limited resources, and more drama than a reality TV show. It's the recipe for a survivor soap opera you never signed up for. Prisons are massive, and to have complete control of the place, we'll need a group of at least 30 people just for security reasons. Now, let's talk about structural vulnerabilities. It's like trying to defend a sandcastle against a zombie tide. Sure, those walls might look impressive, but when faced with sustained zombie attacks, they could crumble faster than a cookie dunked in hot coffee. It's a literal knock, knock, who's there situation, but trust me, it won't be a friendly visitor. And mobility? Well, forget about leisurely strolls through a peaceful garden. In a prison, your getaway options are about as limited as a goldfish's memory. Once those zombies breach the perimeter, you might as well be trying to escape a locked room in an escape room game, minus the fun and with a lot more drooling and groaning. Oh, and do not forget the psychological impact. Living within those grim gray walls might have you feeling like you've just been cast as the star of a horror flick. Claustrophobia, anxiety, and the ever-creepy feeling of being watched. Not exactly the ideal living situation, right? And let's not forget the day-to-day challenges of keeping the lights on and the food coming. It's like running a marathon with lead shoes. Sure, those generators might hum along for a while, but sooner or later the lights flicker, and suddenly you're fumbling around in the dark with a bunch of growling zombies for company. So, while prisons might seem like the ideal place in a zombie apocalypse, they've got their fair share of flaws, and might just crumble faster than a cookie dunked in hot coffee when the undead come knocking. After diving headfirst into the chaotic world where prisons meet zombies, you're probably wondering, are prisons truly the promised land amidst the undead chaos? These fortresses do have their perks: the security, the stockpiled resources, and that undeniable allure of safety within their walls. It's like finding an oasis in the desert, a glimmer of hope in an otherwise bleak landscape overrun by the undead. Prisons aren't all sunshine and rainbows in this zombified world. Overcrowding, structural vulnerabilities, limited escape routes. It's like the universe's twisted joke on survivors seeking sanctuary. However, in the game of survival, it's not just about the place. It's about the people and the adaptability to turn those limitations into opportunities. Those walls might keep the zombies at bay, but it's the human spirit that determines whether a prison becomes a stronghold or a ticking time bomb. So, are prisons the holy grail of survival in a zombie apocalypse? The answer, my fellow survivors, lies not just within the walls of those concrete fortresses, but within the resilience, resourcefulness, and adaptability of the human spirit, and good luck so that a horde of zombies does not appear at the door. But honestly, what do you think? think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Ultimately, whether a prison is a good place to survive, the zombie apocalypse depends on your ability to navigate its challenges, forge alliances, and adapt to the ever-evolving chaos around you. So, strap on your gear, sharpen those survival skills, and remember, in this twisted dance between prisons and zombies, it's not just about the location.